So when you sit down with the travel agent to make your booking, you'll talk about dining, because part of the reservation is deciding, do you want traditional dining or anytime dining? So it looks like this. Traditional dining is in the, both of those, by the way, are included. But the traditional dining allows you to have an assigned table with the same waiter at the same time in the same restaurant each night with the same other guests. So it's like early or late seating. So it's a structure. Conversely, the anytime dining is included, but this dining room operates so that you can go to the podium anytime between 5 and 10 p.m. and be seated as per availability. Is there a wait? Well, yes, 7:30 is the peak time when everyone wants to do this, so sometimes you have a bit of a wait there. I personally find they no sooner give me that little buzzer thing and I grab a drink in a bar and they're buzzing me. So whatever, it's a matter of, do you like structure or do you prefer to have the flexibility? And you and your agent can vet that, and you'll make the choice at the time you make your reservation. On board our ships, you'll also find specialty dining and casual dining. The specialty dining is what I mentioned earlier, where it is not included, so there's an extra fee because it's a different menu, a different service level, a different room, a whole different experience. It's something optional if you want to take advantage of it or not. And the casual dining is like the buffet area, the pizza, and so forth. And I put this in to remind myself to share with you that on all of our ships, we mostly are a 7-day cruise line minimum, and then from there even longer, but on any 7-day voyage there will always be 2 formal nights, including Alaska. So if you've cruised before, you realize that a formal night could include a tuxedo. So I want to share with you fellows that if you take a tuxedo to Alaska, you will be the only person on the ship with a tuxedo, except maybe the maitre d'. So in Alaska, it's a little bit more laid back, but they do require a tie, and that's the sticking point, a tie and a jacket. So for example, you can pack your ubiquitous navy blazer, basic shirt, tie, slacks, and you're good. You don't need a suit or a tuxedo, but you do need a tie. And if you say, this is my vacation, I'm not packing a tie, I get that. So then if that is your choice, you won't go to the main dining room that night. Instead, you'll enjoy a specialty dining or the casual dining venue where there is no dress code to contend with, if you will. And the rest of the evenings are polite casual, if you will, something you wear to dinner here, so it's pretty easy. So that's the dining. Wherever you go on our ships, you're going to find delicious, freshly prepared food. And what I love about it is it ranges from simple things like grilled items to creative stuff like veal buco. So there's something for everybody, no doubt. So the ports of call are Juneau, Ketchikan, and Skagway. This is Ketchikan. That's the Creek Street area. It used to be a red light district. It is not anymore. Ketchikan is actually a commercial fishing village, so here is a great place to fish. If you do a salmon fishing excursion, they use spoons and downriggers and troll. If you catch, you can do the cook my catch as we saw earlier. There's lots of other things to do in Ketchikan. As I said, there's a zip line, there's a sanctuary, an eagle sanctuary, it's a rainforest. You can take a walk in the rainforest and then identify flora and fauna with a naturalist. The list goes on. You really need to take a look. This picture is Skagway. It's very much a gold rush feeling town because indeed that is where the people from the lower 48 went up into Alaska through Skagway, up through the White Pass into the Yukon for the gold rush. At that time there was no rail. Today there is a narrow gauge rail, so that's one of the optional tours you can take, where you board this train and they take you up through the pass and they talk about the gold rush and the history and so on. It's pretty exciting. Lots of other things to do. Both places offer ample shopping. The first time I went 35 years ago, the streets in Skagway weren't paved and the shopping was the hardware store, so times have changed. So if you're looking for the real Alaska, you really have to leave the 2 blocks that surround the ship and head out into an excursion and you'll find the real Alaska without a doubt. And then lastly is Juneau. Juneau is actually the capital of Alaska. It's a small coastal frontier town. You can't get there but by boat or by plane because it's a mountain range and there's no roads in and out of Juneau. They joke about they don't have any car theft, there's nowhere to go. But you realize it's the capital, so this is a weird place to have a capital and it's hard to get there. So every so often they do send out the vote saying, should we move our capital to Anchorage or Fairbanks? You know, they're international airports, they're cities with sidewalks, street lights, high rises. The vote usually comes back about unanimous. No, we like it the way it is. I told you, Alaska's a little odd. There's another odd thing about Alaska. There are more men than women in Alaska. So ladies, if you're looking for a man, the odds are good. But I've been there, and I can tell you, the goods can be a little odd. Not so much. So you're on this journey to get yourself to Alaska. So know that Princess is considered the best cruise line in Alaska. Let's go back to those 10 people. Travel agents, man on the street. Who would you recommend for Alaska? 8 or 9 of them's going to say Princess. We just have that reputation. We're the leaders in Alaska without a doubt. You're going to get to Glacier Bay and Denali. You don't even have to think about it. If you want to think about other national parks, now you know where they are and how to do that. So you can think about making it more than a 2 national park experience. The experience with Princess will include our lodges and our rail service, or a rail experience. And so you will have quite the package there all wrapped up. How to decide? Well, I've been throwing out some of these things all night long. First thing is, how much time do you have? I said 14 is optimal. Yes, you could do a really super tour for 12 nights. And if you really want to go crazy, go for 15 or 16. Because if you're going once, you want to hit everything you can. It really depends on your time and your pocket. What are your preferred dates? My niece is getting married in July. I'm not going anywhere in July. I'm sure you have things going on in your life, so carve that out and set it aside. Do you want connoisseur hosted? Just to recap, the connoisseur kind of includes everything. The meals, an escort, the longer park tour. If you like to travel in that manner, that's the way you want to go. Obviously, the price point is different. There are more things included than if you choose a hosted tour. Remember, you always have a choice about your Denali Park tour, and the travel agent can help you with that. Is Kenai a must-see? To me, that's the first question to ask yourself. Because if it is, so let's say the answer is, yes, Kenai, yes, I have 14 days. That then guides the travel agent to, there are about 4 tours that include the Kenai Lodge, so you're zeroed down from about 30 choices to 4, so it gets pretty easy. And if the answer is yes, I want Kenai, no, I don't have 14. My personal suggestion would be to select an 11-day tour that starts in Anchorage, add that 1 extra night in Anchorage, voila, you have a 12-night tour, and you can still get 3 national parks in. If you don't want to do Kenai for whatever reason, any tour that begins in Fairbanks will work fine for you as well. Because when you start in Fairbanks and lodge, the Kenai Lodge is not included, you won't go anywhere near the Kenai Fjords National Park. So that's kind of an easy way to cut through all those tour patterns in that book and get down to what's right for you. So if you do decide you wanted the connoisseur, they are all on one page. They have purple buttons. This is 2019. But you'll notice that I highlighted the Kenai. You'll see that the Kenai Lodge is marked on this grid, and you just pick out the ones that have the Kenai on it and start looking at that. So just remember, 1 page purple. So it's a lot of work. But before you get down to business, don't forget why you wanted to go. Alaska really is a land without fences. And the animals, they outnumber the people. And the sun does shine at midnight in Alaska. And the scenery in Alaska is so awesome and sometimes inspirational that I can tell you sometimes a personal trip to Alaska can have an effect on your life. Well, heck, that's why I'm in Franconia tonight. Because 35 years ago, as I took off over the Wrangell-St. Elias Mountains, that was when I decided I would do what I'm doing right now tonight, 35 years ago. So, your story will be whatever your story is, but I do know that if you've always wanted to go to Alaska, you need to put your head to it, and you've done the first important thing, which is pick up a lot of information. You've come to a great agency where these agents are truly experienced in this. If you give them the right details of what I've told you they need to know, they will help you zero in on which tours to look at, can provide prices for you, answer those questions about inside, outside, balcony, forward, aft, air. They're experts, and you need an expert. And those experts want you to have an unforgettable vacation to Alaska, and so do I. So thank you for your time and attention. I hope this has helped. And yes, I am happy to entertain questions for you. Thank you. Oh, and one last thing. Since we did this, the agency for the rest from tomorrow, which is Thursday, till next Thursday, has in place so that you can make this booking for just $100. We call it a booking incentive. It's a call to action. You only have till next Thursday, etc. So it's, you know, an impetus to do this. My own personal opinion about what should be your call to action is that you want what you want when you're going on the tour of your lifetime. And so now is the time to shop for this, because we are in the thick of selling 2020. So what can I answer for you?